We are in the middle of Betwixtmas, the time between Christmas and the New Year, and we're staring down the alleyway over another New Year's Eve. But this podcast is not about setting resolutions and crushing your goals, but it is about getting what you want. Hello, my name is Paul Harvey and I am a midlife coach, and you are listening to a life, passion and business shortcast. Now, over the last few years, I have spoken to hundreds of people and I've discovered that our story is everything, because what we do, feel or experience is based on the stories that we tell ourselves. This shortcast is a bite-sized episode to explore the ingredients of a good life. We bring out the thoughts, tips and tools so you can try them on for size. So let's explore and see what is possible. Every year around this time and throughout the first week of January, in fact sometimes longer, my inbox fills up with people offering me solutions and opportunities for successful resolutions. There is the 6-figure business plans, the fitness programs for the perfect body, and all manner of projects and programs, all designed to get me my resolutions, to make 2025 the best year I could possibly have. And of course, this new year is a time for reflection. We all want the coming year to be better than the last. And yet we know there is no guarantee. But if these crush it and grind it programs are to be believed, we must be up by 5 a.m, doing the HIIT workout, meditate before the cold shower, and then get through the tough stuff before our skipped breakfast. Now, there was a time in my life when I might have done some of the above, but not the 5 a.m, that's for sure, or the cold showers, but I did drink heavily on the Kool-Aid. I believed that I could push myself into a place of perceived success through hard work and self-beratement. And there's a whole industry around this that's perpetuated by the likes of David Goggins, Gary Vee and Tony Robbins. And no doubt there's no doubt these are successful people and their programs have done a lot of good in the world. And I know others emulate them and the message uses similar tools. However, it's an old ideology about macho male values. It's about developing toughness, creating bravado to blast through fear and denigrate our weaknesses. As I said, I've done these programs and had some limited success, but they all lead to the same place. When it works, it feels great. But the nature of the setup means there will always be failure, and there will always be the question of whether I pushed enough or did enough to make it happen. And when the inevitable failure happens, was I kind to myself? No. How could I be? It would have been my fault. I did not do what was needed to make it happen. My biggest struggle with this time of year is it sets us up for a big crash. We all know that resolutions, goals and objectives will be dropped with when the intentions hit reality. So how do we do a year differently and still get what we want? Well, the first question is to understand what we truly want. Now, I would suggest you take some time to think on this, because it's easy to get things or to want things that are not yours. Now, what does that mean? Well, it's like the millionaire challenge, the millionaire mindset challenge I did last year. I knew I did not want the million. But it took me a year to realize that actually what I wanted the freedom that a million might give me. I wanted a rich life. I wanted to be enriched by my life. And if money makes that happen, that's good. But money wasn't the thing that was the important point about it. As long as I had enough to cover the needs. And that is the point of clarity here. Yes, it might mean more money for the current lifestyle. If you want to hear more about my thoughts on the money project, please do check out the last podcast, because it's an interesting conversation, myself and Jane Rogers, where we explore both of them experience of doing that process for a year, exploring our relationship with money. But I got a lot of clarity, and that will change the direction of this podcast in 2025. And that was just thinking about money. So that thinking that you need to do could take the form of a review. What did you enjoy in 2024? What were the best bits for you? What was it about those best bits? Was it friends, family? Was it work? Was it success at work? What was it that really fired you up this year? What was it you didn't like about this year? What were the bits that you kind of go, I don't want to do that again? I mean, all right, some of those things can be circumstances. I mean, if you've got, as you possibly know from the podcast, I'm dealing with someone who is incapacitated. We're working with that. And if there are some things in your life which you cannot control, then, they may not be the best, but you have to make the best of them. But there are some things that happen in your life that you do have control of, things that you don't want to do again. That might be people you don't want in your life anymore. That might be types of work, types of things that you do. You have control over this on some level. But the point about it is to make a list of the things that you want in the coming year and really understand why you want them and what they mean to you. Now, the beauty of that list is we have an intention. We have an intention to enhance the things that we want in the coming year and to reduce the things that are not so good. And that is a very powerful place to be. And that's not a crush it and grind it list. That's a list of just things that we want to move towards. So the question now is, how could we plan those out in the year in a way that makes us feel good, that works? And if you want to go the crush it and grind it at that point, that's your choice. I really think that those programs, you can set yourself impossible goals, but all of your work in this must be smart, as in you've got some goals now, some specific ideas you want to achieve. Are they realistic? That's the one thing about smash it and crush it projects, is often the goals are not realistic. To create a 6-figure business in 1 year is possible, but not realistic. Unless you really, really are lucky. Some of these things are all about luck. As many of the podcast guests will tell you, they had an overnight success that took 20 years. Things take time. Everything takes time. It always takes time. There is no such thing as overnight success. There's the history that got you to the overnight success. And that's always the way. It's always something in the past that brought into the present suddenly creates that success. So what I wish you for 2025 is I wish you a calm and gentle move into the year. I want you to be gentle with yourself. I want you to have kindness for yourself and those around you, because that is the way forward. When we allow the year to unfold by working with an intention, that is far more powerful than setting a resolution or a goal that we almost inevitably know we're going to lose. So the intention would be for 2025 is to amplify the bits that you really enjoyed and make sure you have more of those bits that you really enjoyed. And it might be that there's a need for more money. It might be a need that there's more resources to come into your life. So look at how to achieve that. It's not going to be a crush it approach. It's going to have to take time. It's going to require focus. And that's where I come in. That's where people like myself come in that help you to develop that focus so that you can move towards those goals. That's the thing about, in the coaching world, I still see coaches that do this thing every year because they think it's a way of catching people. But I really believe that if you want to see long-term results, it's not about what you say you're going to do on the first of the year at midnight. It's about what you say you're going to do, what you plan to do, what you move toward after some soul searching and some inspiration. Because that's what it takes. I think getting what you want out of life is about being inspired by it, about being inspired by the journey and the path you're on. That's what makes a difference. That's what makes resolutions and goals work. Because when we push, when we shove, when we put our shoulder to the wheel, there is pain involved somewhere. And all of these morning routines and these processes and the things that the people put in, to make their world work, they do work, because what they do, they provide a structure, a framework for us to move forward, to be healthy. Because that's the point about this. We need to stay in balance between our relationships, between our health and well-being, and between our work. And when we balance all of that, that leads to a good life. That leads to a healthy, wealthy life in many respects. And that's what I wish for you in 2025. A healthy, wealthy, inspiring year. I will leave it there today because I think I will be rambling if I spoke anymore. Take some time out. Decide what it is you want in the year. Do it with some reflection, because that's a powerful tool. And when you come up with something, share it with someone. Share that vision with someone, because when you share this stuff, it makes it more manifest. Actually doing this work with someone else is a really powerful way of moving it forward, because you both support each other. And there's also the reality check, because if you come up with something which is so off the planet, someone might say, actually, in fact, something reality check here? I'm not sure you're up for that. And I know that's sad sometimes, but sometimes we do have to face reality of our dreams and aspirations. But the important aspect about sharing it with someone is to get help. We cannot make manifest these things on our own. We need help. We need the help of others to make our dreams come true. Have any views on this? Do reach out to me. I would love to have the conversation. If you've enjoyed this podcast, please share it with a friend, because that's how people like yourself find good podcasts. If you want to know more about life, passion and business, do check out the website at lifepassionandbusiness.com, particularly focus coaching, which could help you with this process that we have just discussed. The next podcast will be a week today, taking some time out to reflect on the new year and decide where my current journey will be going. As always, thank you for your time and attention. I will catch you in 2025. All the best.